Grammatical categories. Now let's look at some of the grammatical categories of the traditional grammar. So in traditional grammar, words are assigned to grammatical categories. Generally, we call them parts of speech or word class sometime on the basis of their semantic properties. What meaning do they give us? Do they give us of a noun or a verb? Do they give us denote something solid or something more abstract? Secondly, morphological properties, the range of different forms they have. In terms of talking about verb, we know that we can have a different range of verbs through its morphology, working, worked, etc. And similarly, noun, singular, plural. Similarly, many other things we get like case and mood, etc. Syntactical properties, the word order. What word order is there in English language or in any other language? So this is how we know through traditional grammar. So relating to their position they can occupy with the sentence. We know that a simple sentence consists of a noun phrase and a verb phrase. A verb phrase consists of a verb phrase and a noun phrase. And similarly, a noun phrase consists of a noun or any determiner or any article, etc. So this is how we can understand the structure of the sentence and their arrangement in a sentence. A set of words which belongs to the same categories thus have a number of semantic or morphological syntactic properties in common. For example, if we look at the words and we call them noun, so we know that what can be their morphology. They have inflectional affixes, so they can have a singular or plural affixes, and or they are applicable to all nouns. So we can be sure that what particular categories can have what morphological units to it. There are traditionally said to have two different types of word, namely content words. They or substantive or connectives. These words which carry the meaning or which have substantive lexical content, which can be described on the one hand, and function words or functors, words which essentially serve to mark grammatical properties on the other hand. For example, pronoun, right? So these are functional or functors, function words or functors. The difference, what are the difference? Contentive, like car, which can be described. We know that it has a certain type of a vehicle which has tires, which has an engine, doors, etc. And functor, like they, which is a pronoun. However, we cannot have anything to describe a pronoun. A noun like car has substantive lexical content in it that it denotes an object which typically can be denied, as I said, whereas a pronoun cannot be. By contrast, a pronoun has no descriptive content. We cannot draw a picture of a pronoun, but we can draw a picture of in most of the cases of a substantive or content word. A functor, which simply marks grammatical number and properties in that it is third person plural nominative pronoun. So if we take the example of they, we simply know that it refers to number and a person, and they is a third person plural pronoun. Because they have lexical semantic content words often, though not always, have antonyms. We know that, for example, if we have an adjective tall, it can have antonym short. The verb increase can have an antonym decrease. A preposition inside can have an antonym outside. So by contrast, a typical function word like the pronoun me has no obvious antonym. Corresponding to these two different types of word, content and function, two different kinds of grammatical categories, namely lexical substantive category and functional categories are discussed in grammar. So we now look at that what are the constituent of the substantive lexical substantive category, and what are the constituent of the functional or functors category of the words.